wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to being dead. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want.
And it just cut itself right off. Boom. Just like that. StreamYards is playing around with us tonight. Hi.
Not your friend tonight.
You're not my friend tonight? Hello. Well, you're not, you're always my friend. StreamYards is not my friend tonight, I'll tell you that. They kicked me out twice. They kicked me out during the intro, too. Wasn't that lovely of them? But I don't know what's going on with them tonight. Hopefully the internet connection will stay. Hopefully y'all can hear us okay in the chat. If there's any issue, just give us a little note there. It's like, hello, Josh. Hello, Kelly. How are you? Thank you for being here to mod us. Hello, everybody else. Hello, always. Hello, Jingo J. Hello. Oh, look at that. Wine is cheaper than therapy. Multitasking away in the chat. That's great. You can be in the chat now. Hey, Brilliant. Hey, Peter. Hey, Chris. Hey, Kirsten. Oh, yeah. Mandy is a little low. Okay. One of our all right, I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can get you because it kicked me out. Maybe the settings is different. Hold on. Okay, it says that. All right, let's see. Yeah, I have you up almost all the way, so you're gonna have to put it up on your end there. You want to try putting yourself up just a little bit?
Is that better?
Just a little bit more.
Is that better?
Okay. Let us know if she came up a little bit. I have her all the way up on my end. We'll see how she did. Okay. I'm sorry if you hear the clicking in your ears as I say hi. All right. There you go. I know, right? And yeah. we you know what? Mandy's getting all sophisticated here with new headphones. So we're trying to break that in and get used to, because this is Mandy's first go round on YouTube here. And she's doing fantastic, let me tell you. And the voice that's going to steal away YouTube from me here with your cognac lace voice there. And you don't drink. And I always refer to it as smooth as cognac, though, too, because it is. You can't hear her at all. I think that might be on your end, Kiki, because go ahead and talk. Let me
I
see.
was just going to say that I'm very excited that Kiki is here because she made me
Mm-hmm.
realize who I am on Twitter. But her and
Mm-hmm.
I have some awesome little threads where we're talking,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of different stuff. So I hope that she's gathering who I am on Twitter, same
Mm-hmm.
name. So
It's in the description if you don't. It's this yeah,
okay,
it is. And I don't know if you want me to say it out loud. They're gonna know it's in the description. It's
yeah,
Mrs. That's Mrs. right here.
I
This is
miss it.
yeah. Yep. Mrs. is right here. Yep. Hey April, how are you? So every week, Mandy and I get together and talk about Johnny Depp out here with you guys. Mostly Johnny Depp because like we don't like Amber Heard. We admit that to you guys. We're very biased in our covering. We do try to cover what she does, especially when she has to retract her statements and etc. But we're not fans, and we have to admit we're definitely not fans. And
Not at all.
we are definitely pushing justice for Johnny every chance we get in the thumbnails and everything. I've actually dropped Amber from the thumbnails because she's starting to irk me the closer that we get to the trial.
Right.
They're just all Johnny all the time, But bless, there's so many great pictures of Johnny out there. Yep. Okay, the volume is still very low. You try again to turn it up just a bit.
Okay.
Yep. Is you're getting clearer as you go too. So I know it takes a while for it to. You said to yeah, she's a mean girl, meow. I definitely am not a fan. I'm not really happy. With how the cases even came about, I could tell you.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, my personal opinion. I only speak for myself. I don't speak for Mandy or anybody else. Just me. I think she hijacked the whole movement to for her divorce, and I think she's ruined a man's career unnecessarily, and I'm really annoyed about it. I'm really annoyed about it. That's probably why we're streaming as often as we do about it, because it's definitely annoying, and I definitely think that he deserves to get his career back. I see the tide I see it's switching a little bit out there, right, Mandy? It's
Yes.
the search engines are getting better.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
Today it
But
was really good. Really good. I'm not having to like dig through pages and pages and pages of talking about him in a negative way. There's really good things coming. You and I have both seen his list of witnesses. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, we're going to show you today the list of witnesses. We have that up here too. But it's incredible. It used to be when you put in Johnny Depp's name, if you put in a search, all you got were the abuse allegations. All you got was like Amber, like everywhere. All of her statements, things that people were saying, but during the course of the actual litigation in the trial preparation in Fairfax, right? She has filed quite a few depositions and quite a few motions on her own and statements. And to her detriment, right, Mandy? A lot of that has to been pulled back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brilliant. Yes, that's me, but I can actually lower my volume. He says I'm overpowering you just a little bit.
But that's
but that's I know. That's what he said too. All my friends know I'm just like a beast. I'm a beast when it comes to this stuff.
So you have to put this my Beavers unit comment up because
okay, hold on 1 second.
What does Johnny Depp, Dave Perner, and Matt Damon have in common?
Oh wait. Okay, here we go. You gonna do the punchline?
No, it's not that one. Go up to her.
Oh no,
above.
Okay. Oh jeez. Okay, hold on. Oh, here it is.
I'm dead.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Okay, what does Johnny Depp, Dave Perner, and Matt Damon have in common? They were all Winona Riders. That's so bad. Oh my god. Beef.
Oh,
Okay.
So good.
Some of this, I know you. She's always cracking me up. Beef. Some of this stuff is gonna be serious. Okay, I know. Thank you. Is that better, Viridian? I'm trying not to overpower her. Hopefully, I'm a little better. I'm trying to be a kind and considerate bear and have everything like nice and even. So let me know if I got it low enough, because I definitely can get it lower. But oh my God, that's too funny.
That
Yeah.
like, where do you these? Did you like come prepared for this? Did you like look these up beforehand? Because
me,
no, my
her
is hilarious.
Yeah, her jokes. I know she's just always on it, and then she gets very excited if I put the jokes up. She's gonna keep going now because she's gonna try to get me to put more and more and more. I know. You want to be famous. I'm gonna make you famous on YouTube. You know. Oh, thank you very much, Meow. That's a very nice compliment. I'm cute. I'm cute. Sometimes, yes. I think I feel a little cute right now because I'm only 1 cup of coffee into the day, actually. So I think my cuteness comes out. What do you think, Mandy? The rest of it'll be around later. It's like my cuteness has shown up for the stream tonight.
You're like just getting up, like prepping for bed. It's weird.
I know it's weird, but I'm on a different, and I shouldn't be, I'm East Coast, you're West Coast, I'm East Coast. But I'm actually on, I guess I'm on the other side of the world time. I mean, if you think about it, my schedule right now is more not even, it's like lazy Australian time because I get up late in the day. It's like lunchtime, I think, over there. I think it's about lunchtime or something, or close, a little bit after, it's like early afternoon. So I would be getting up at noon, one of those kind of people. Don't hate, people, don't hate. I was up all night. I was busy. I was working on things. Okay.
Perfect. So.
Okay. This is cute. Wait a minute. Look, we got technicians in the office. This is kind of cute. This is it. I have consulted and the techs have told me it's an acceptable parameters now. I guess thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do. Thank you very much. And thanks for being here. We've got so much. I think the first thing we're going to listen, there's a lot of stuff going on today, guys. So I think the first thing that we shall do is there are several threads that we follow on Twitter. Mandy and I both, we follow Laura and her partner Jax from the what's it called, Monsters and whatever, the Fairfax, On the Road to Fairfax podcast, and we always have the link below. By the way, all the links are below, everybody, for the podcast. There's also the playlist for this whole series. For those of you that may be new here, we're going to be covering some things that we've already touched on in more depth in other areas. So the other from the playlist, you can get all those other episodes. I think this is our 6th week, our 5th or 6th week of this. I'm not sure, but I did see a comment in the chat. I think it was Kiki, and welcome Kiki, about the bruise being faked. We did a whole thing on her one day. Here we call her or it, or stuff like that. I have to admit that we're biased. I keep saying it over and over again. Instead of saying alleged, like most people do when they cover legal cases, I have to say I'm very biased about Amber Heard. I'm just very biased. But we covered her, and then the following week we did Johnny's injuries, which when we were matching bruise for bruise, I got to tell you, he bruised a lot more bruises than she did. As far as things were going on.
Yeah.
On
his face.
And there's just awful. She's just awful. And it's like more and more people are starting to notice, like we were talking about the going out on the internet now. If you're doing searches, at least you can find real information about Johnny Depp now instead of accusations. You can find more positive things, like movies he may be coming up with, more articles, more positive things about the case in general, instead of just all the negativity that was there for so long. Anytime you put his name in there. So it's starting to turn a little bit, but it's mostly because of the Justice for Johnny people that have been working really hard at getting more and more information out there. So, and also that more and more is coming out about Amber. More of her testimony has had to be adjusted by herself. She's had to correct several of her depositions that she put forward to the court, most of her legal filings. I think it was up to 11 documents that had to be refiled already, where she had to change either dates, times, statements, correct things, misinformation. Let's just call it misinformation, missteps that had to be corrected in the legal documents. Like
she would put out something, a witness statement.
Yeah.
And then somebody would do a deposition or a witness statement, or something would happen, and they would have proof of it, and pictures to follow her, or pictures of her on a specific date where she said something. So then she would have to go and redo it and say, oh, I got the date wrong on the last one. This is actually the right date. Well,
exactly.
You know what? For people that have been in any sort of abusive relationships, it's like you don't forget something as traumatic as those experiences. You don't get beat up with 2 black eyes and broken ribs and then go on a talk show the next night and bounce around and smile and laugh and be all animated when you've got 2 black eyes, a broken nose, a bloody lip, and bruised ribs. It's just preposterous to believe, to think and see what she has done. And this is like, they got divorced 6 years ago, and everything that's going on now, like, she annihilated him, and I just don't know.
Right. And it's just so fair. And in even bigger picture, I mean, even if you can get bigger picture than a man being destroyed on an accusation or an allegation, not even like, it hasn't even gone to trial yet. There was the big loss. We were going to touch on the libel suit in the UK, which has been, it's already dead. It's already done and over with. There is no appeal left on that. But when a judge actually comes right out over there in England and says, I don't need to look at evidence. I just need to decide whether I'm going to believe a witness or not, or if I'm going to believe an alleged victim or not. And he just chose to believe her. And that was it, which made the statement true, period. There wasn't any recourse for Johnny. There wasn't any way for him to bring evidence that he was not an abuser. They didn't want to hear it. They just wanted to say that the son could say what they wanted because the victim was out there talking about it in an article. And I get that. I mean, legally, I understand that premise. I do. But what it has done is made an allegation have some credibility because no evidence was allowed to be brought forward to counter it. It really was just whether or not they were going to believe the statement or not, making it somewhat credible. That's why libel couldn't be assigned to the son, And, when you had a big organization like the Me Too make her an ambassador and put weight on her voice like that, I mean, a lot of missteps. I mean, a lot of weaponizing of the movement was done, in my opinion, by Amber. All of that's been kind of reversed, but you don't hear about it as much. So where's the big statements from everybody about, how they were pushing through this narrative? And then kind of quietly backing out of it with no big parade, like they did against Johnny. Warner Brothers, made a big mistake. In my opinion, when an allegation like this happens, you need to treat both parties fairly. It's still just an allegation legally, right? It's still just an accusation. I know people feel a certain way about the subject, and it is upsetting, and you want people protected. Okay. And she did get protection right away with the movement. She did. But, that doesn't mean that you got to take a man's career away while you wait. And she's out there still making money and nobody's doing anything to her. Where is the reverse justice going to be if it's proven that this is all false? If this is false, what happens to Amber Heard? Will there be legislation against her for, number one, messing with the court system, having, to tie up the court system this way. False allegations. Will the UK court system be a little bit upset about her false testimony?
Well, and that's what I'm wondering. Like, does Johnny have any leg to stand on at this point, going back,
right.
since he was denied an appeal, which is just insane to me. But
well, because when it comes down to the way it works there in those type of cases, it really is whether they're just going to weigh in the deposition or not. It's not like a piece by piece kind of thing. For the libel, because all the son said was that he was an abuser, and there was an article from the accuser out there clearly stating all of this, So really, for reporting purposes and for a newspaper or any kind of, fact, reporting type system to work, you have to have some safeguards. So if there's enough there to infer, I could see why libel. But libel could not be proved, but it is still quite damaging. It's very, very unfortunate. And he did try. But also, he's an American movie star. I mean, how much grace is he going to get, really? I mean, we're just those uppity brats over here. You know what I mean? So, I
just have, some characters like a big deal to me, and we can name a few if we think about it. It's very easy to do. People that we are aware of, people like her, people that use the court system, people. She filed a TRO against Johnny. People that falsify information to court systems. It's insanity to me. And my husband hates social media with a passion. So basically, the information that he gets is from me. But he actually made a comment one day, like, when did journalism and the media that we see just become a bunch of bloggers sitting at home with
talking heads
with nothing better to do? Any person can sit behind a computer screen and type up a blog or have a video or do whatever and just throw out the most insane accusations without any repercussion from it. It's crazy to me.
I know, and it gets crazier too, because it's just like talking heads. I mean, fact-based reporting has been like dying out for some time now in the news. There were laws put in place. There used to be accountability to where you weren't allowed to say anything unless it was true. If you were in the news industry, there was a real strong moral fortitude, and also laws that protected you from misinformation. But a lot of that has been dismantled for the internet. And I don't understand why, because it's really crazy. Like, you can't even sue people if they're giving out bad information anymore. And that's like crazy. That's damaging. I do understand why they wanted to scale some things back because of control and censorship and things like that. And nobody wants government like messing in their stuff. Well, sometimes when people can't be reasonable, and here's proof of it. Like, look at how the media is right now. When they can't be reasonable about stuff, then you do got to put laws that say, like, come on, people, like, clean your act up, straighten up. Like, you're just not doing it. You're causing a lot of damage, and that's what gets to me when people are actually getting hurt about it. But I feel strongly that the Me Too movement was a very good thing. The legislation that happened was amazing, and I applaud everyone that was a part of it to help get it all done. The new legislation about testing and the services that are rendered right away for anyone that is a victim, and this is a male or a female, of abuse, can go forward and get protection right away without having to prove too much. But it's just protection, and it's temporary, okay? You do want to make sure that people are able to get out of damaging situations really, really quickly. And I'm all for that. I'm absolutely, What I'm not for is the hijacking of the system by false testimony, by fault, because you don't have to actually prove anything when you go in there. It's not like looked at with a fine tooth comb, and it shouldn't be. There are many situations with women and children, especially, that, they should get that protection immediately. I'm all for it. What I'm not for is that there's no counter legislation to get those abusers of that system out, because they're going to ruin it for everybody else. They are going to damage it, to where it becomes, not as good of a law, not as good of a legislation as it could have been, because people are hijacking it. And we know a couple of people. I know Mandy was like, we know people. I know I hate saying her name, but like, we know somebody else who did it too. And then when it push come to shove, they don't want to provide the evidence. They want to get into a private agreement so they don't have to talk. But, protect thyself at all costs. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to come forth with the evidence anyway, because, it's going to be kind of weak, Well, anyway, we should get down to the actual incident.
Yes.
Let's get down to that incident. We're going to talk about the Australian incident. This is back in 2015, correct?
Yeah. And we talked about this before, but we're just going to kind of walk through this timeline, or this description that Jax has. And please, everybody, follow her if you're interested in this at all. You have to follow Jax, and you have to follow the real Laura B.
Both of their Twitters are below in the description. I'm just moving this up so it's easier to read. Yes, this is my Twitter. Isn't it pretty with the little orange, everybody? I don't care. You can see I actually don't have a lot of messages right now. I cleared it all out for you, so I don't look like all that. There you go. All extra and everything. But this is Laura's thread that she put out. Jax's, right, not Laura's, Jax's, back on March 26th of 2021. And she has re-added it today, to make sure that we could all see it. So she upped it up in the thing. But it starts with, on the day, the only available evidence for day one of the Australia incident we're speaking of, March 6th of 2015, is Johnny texting his assistant Stephen and his sister Christy and hating on himself. And you can see, all right, we'll start here. Here's the bottom part of one text where he says, the embarrassment of having whored for all these blank wasted piece of shit nothing years on characters that I so ignorantly started to think of as my legacy. Every content fight. Every fucking time. I held my ugliness and rage deeper down and get in check when there was still room in my head to do such a thing. So he is all, she's showing this, right, Mandy, to try to show you Johnny's state of mind at the time. He's already in a really negative space about himself.
He's trying to quit drinking, or he was trying to go sober. So that has a lot to do with his struggles. So he was to maintain sobriety. For a quick backstory, in case anybody doesn't know, this is the weekend that he lost the tip of his finger. She calls it a 3-day hostage event where he did all these awful things to her, when in actuality, we know he lost a flipping finger. So this is exactly what we were saying, where his mind is during that weekend. So cool. Here we go.
Yep. So this is Stephen's response to Johnny. He's trying to he's talking to Johnny and also Christy. I guess they're in a group DM because it says Stephen Dieter's text JD and Christy. He's trying to twist his, turn him around. And he's like, Christy's his sister. Right. When I was a kid, I loved my writers, my directors, my musicians, but there was only one actor I loved, one actor whose film I would go and see every single one of at the cinema. And I was not alone, nor am I now. You are a maverick, an artist, a bona fide fucking legend, one of the all-time greats, all time. You are loved out there in the world, and all anybody wants to see on that screen is Johnny Depp they know and love. That said, you deserve some time off. Take a break. Look after yourself for a while. Then we can discuss other stuff. But just for now, you need to be far less harsh on yourself. And remember and salute all that you have accomplished in life. No one has achieved what you have managed to retain the people's touch. A phenomenal, unprecedented, never to be repeated feat. You've inspired multiple generations of young artists, from actors to musicians to wannabe writers. In fact, similar to Keith in that respect, you've transcended all genres. You're the one who everybody loves, being accepted by every niche. So as I've told you before, to call it an honor to work for you doesn't do my feelings on the topic any justice whatsoever. But safe to say, I wouldn't work for anyone else. You're the reason I'm in this business, and by fuck does this business need you. Instead, he says, you are a kind man, the sweetest. You break my heart. Thank you for saying what you said and for feeling what you felt. I am nothing more than just another nobody who did a whole bunch of nothing and crawled out to play their games. My goal is to not be remembered. That's kind of sad, you know.
Yeah.
On day 2, Amber says she has been physically assaulted, slapped, choked, hair pulled. However, there are people in the house on this day. Stephen and Dr. Kipper are there in person speaking to both of them, and there is, of course, no mention of any injuries. Oh boy. Yes, all right. This is a question and answer, and I believe this is from Herd Laws. Okay. So question. He grabbed you, you say, by the neck, shoved you against the fridge. Amber, it is a different day, though. Yes, day 2. I'm just talking about the whole situation first. He had you by the hair. He hit and slapped you in the face, kept attacking you during the day. The last line, he hit you, pushed you, choked you, spat in your face. Do you see that? Yes. That's while he was holding me against the side wall. Then he spat in my face. Then in paragraph 108, in terms of the physical assaults on you, you say, after screaming at you, so it is right towards the bottom of that page, he put the broken bottle against you. You thought he was going to headbutt you, and in fact, he was out of control. Then what happened next physically was, at the top of page 108 here, he grabbed you by the hair, hurled you around, and you fell on the table, collapsed under you. You ended up on he ended up on top of you. Do you see that in 108? I do. Then in 109, there was broken glass everywhere, and he grabbed you by the neck. He kept smashing your head against the fridge, swearing at you. Your feet were getting cut, yes? Yes, she says. But there were no injuries. Like, she's saying there are injuries, but
there's never injuries.
Medical notes for Amber Heard. CT notifies RN via text of increasing anxiety, reports emotional liability. The RN encourages client to use distraction and coping skills taught in the past. The CT reports self-administered additional Seroquel due to insomnia. CT able to sleep again at 5 until 9:30, and the nurse encourages CT to remain in contact to assist in decreasing anxiety and increase emotional stabilization. That doesn't, there's nothing mentioned here in those notes of any injuries that need to be taken care of, just anxiety. All right. Stephen Dieter's text to,
Yeah, the part that I thought was interesting in it, because I was in the medical field. So when I was reading this and it said, hold on, patient reports, oh, here it is. Patient reports self-administration, because I'm expanding on how doctors speak. So the third sentence says patient reports self-administrating additional Seroquel. So she took it upon herself to take more than the
prescribed
recommended amount. And I think that that's something that she did. So anywho, that's something that really
so it is important to note she is on medication already. She takes Seroquel. That's, So
Lots of
she's
stuff.
been prescribed, right? Yeah. Stephen Dieters then texts Christy, Stephen's sister. Hi, C. Not sure how much you are aware of right now, but I am at the house with Kipper and Debbie, who are speaking with JD and Amber respectively, separately. Obviously, things have not calmed over the last day or so. Apparently, there he has been making calls to LA, but I am not aware of the particulars there as well as fighting between the two here. So Kipper is now talking to JD, hoping to get through to him and explain to him that this period needs to end now before we get into real trouble. I'll keep you posted on the outcome. The good news thus far is that JD did not cancel his meeting, that he is engaging in conversation. We'll see how that goes, and we'll do whatever we need to do. I also heard that mom was in the hospital. Sorry to hear that. I hope she's okay. So, also his mom was in the hospital at the time. So
what this is referring to is the postnuptial agreement. That's what caused all of this to happen. So he wanted a postnuptial agreement. She lost her mind. He was communicating with people back in LA to try to get all that handled. And when he brought it up to her, that's what sort of led to this whole situation. So,
yep. And then they have this text here, which I don't understand. Maybe you can help me here. But Nathan Holmes texts to Johnny, this is what I have for the HBO thingy, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe Amber knows how to set it up. And then it's like the HBO part, like there.
I think what that is showing is this is supposed to be 3 days of a bloodbath where she's being held against her will. And yet they're attempting to figure out how to get the HBO Go to work.
Okay. All right. So they're watching. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's showing that there's normal conversation and actions going on when obviously she is saying that everything is so volatile at the time and so dangerous and so detrimental. On day 3 is a doozy. This is when Johnny loses his fingertip. Amber wants you to believe he was acting crazed around the house for hours when in reality, JD's security Malcolm is on the way just after 11:30. Now, this looks blank. Wait. Oh, here it is. Malcolm texts JD, be there in 30 minutes. And then I'm outside. Like 20 minutes later, he's right there outside. Like he was on the way. So that was at 11:37 and then till 11:57. And that's contrary to her statement, too, about people being there. This is when she ramps it up with the allegations of cuts to her entire body, hands, arms, feet, and also starts with the lunacy of mashed potatoes, gravy, raw meat, and birds. I don't know if I actually want to read her craziness, but I don't know. I hate when she says all this about Johnny, but here we go. Yeah, this is from Heard Laws. This is the depositions that they were doing back and forth with going on her other statements. Like they're actually questioning her previous statements. Okay, so Mr. Justice Nickel, and cutting myself on the counter, in quotes, Ms. Laws, you were cutting yourself here on the broken glass on the counter, using your forearms to essentially raise yourself up to push him away or to run away. The witness, that would be Amber. There he was, putting so much pressure on my neck that I could not get any words out. I could not reason with him to stop pushing, and he was pushing so hard, and I could not get a purchase of my alms because the countertops were covered in glass and liquid from all the broken bottles he had thrown at me. I was naked, and my feet were bare, so I could not get a purchase with my feet. So I remember I just kept trying to get a purchase on the slick floor and the slick countertops. So I was trying to push away from the countertops so it would alleviate the pressure to my neck so I could breathe. It had been so long since I could breathe, and he was pushing so hard. I thought he would not. I thought he had lost control and would not know what he had done. I thought he would not be able to know that he had. I was trying to get through to him, and I just could not. I was slipping everywhere, slipping on glass. I was slipping on the countertops. Slipping on glass and slipping on the countertop. Yes, ma'am. And the glass was covered in broken glass. Oh boy. Palms, hands, feet, or your wrists. Not palms so much. It was more of unclear due to overspeaking. Arms or palms? Not palms. The bottoms of my arms, bottoms of my forearms, top wrist at the heel. Do we take it you did not have your hands on the counter? It was your arms that were on the counter? My arms were on the counter. Both of them like that against the glass, being scraped along? Basically. Being scraped along the surface, yes. Yes, I was trying to get one of my hands had gotten free at some point, and I was trying to push him off of me. I remember I was trying to get through to him. I do not know when I was saying, Johnny, Johnny, it's me, stop, it's me. You're really hurting me. Johnny, stop, please. It was like he could not hear me. Sorry, can I ask you to go to file 6, please? Of course. Put the other one away, tab 119. 119. In fact, it is 148 and the number of the photograph is F894. Sorry, 148. Yes, it is photograph and the photograph reference is F89, 4.051. I missed the tab number, sorry. So they go through the tabs. Yes, that's it. Is that correct? Yes, if you are fact in B, then I can ask you. We will come back to that. Have a look at that photograph. That is the only photograph you produce in relation to this incident of the injuries you say you maintained whilst in Australia during this incident, right? Yes. Who took the photograph? I did. Just a minute. Who took the photograph of 49 and 50? And the answer is you did? Yes. Those were in the bathroom of the room that I was in. You wrote on that. Call Carly Simon. She said it better, babe. No, I did not write that. The question is, call Carly. Oh boy. Oh, it cuts to a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that one's weird. Like all of that, like, wait a minute. She goes on to say that was so horrible, but there's only one picture and there's no real damage in that picture.
So if you remember the writing on the
mirror,
the mirrors, and this has been analyzed over and over and over again. I think it's in this thread if you can find it. So,
yeah, I can. It's right down here. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to go past it. It's the next picture.
Yep.
Here it is.
He originally wrote on it in black, and it's believed that he wrote the he's part. It didn't say she's originally. It said he's, and then there was an arrow going down, and it's hard for me to see it really well. But something about her loving naked pictures of herself. He's something, but he said she loves naked pictures of herself. And then she came along and wrote that in red lipstick. The judge at the UK said Johnny did it all.
That Johnny did all of it, but it's clearly looks like two different handwritings. Like one's very agitated, obviously. It does look like he's upset. The dark one, and if that is him,
and we're in the Discord, so we see how he writes on his.
Oh yeah,
on his stuff. Yeah. He writes very like bold, capital. I'm trying to think of like the word for it that I think of. And then if you know the song You're So Vain, so I think what it was supposed to be about is Johnny's basically saying she loves naked pictures of himself. He's something talking about himself. And then she comes along and writes, call Carly Simon. She's a better babe about the song.
Right. Yeah, she's like making fun. Yeah, she's kind of like being snarky. Yeah.
What man is gonna make a freaking happy face with lipstick on the
I don't really. Yeah, that normally doesn't. Yeah, I can't. I can understand that point. That kind of makes it right there. The little happy, and it's obvious she was being snarky about the whole thing.
The judge believed that she didn't do this. She said that she was locked in a bedroom, fearing for her life when the poor man had lost his finger. She said that he did all of this. She never wrote on it. And it's just the biggest crock. It's Okay, so she said that she got these scars. You can see the two
Mm-hmm.
scars on her arm
Yeah,
from
they're from the yeah.
incident, but people have
Mm-hmm.
found pictures of her. She's had those for a long time. People actually think, unfortunately, trigger warning for a second. I know a lot of people have been through things, but
Mm-hmm.
people think that that's self-inflicted, those marks on her arm, because
They real yeah.
it's
Let me see.
always her left arm and she's right-handed and it's on the underside. If you were like scratching yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
when somebody, okay, let's be hypothetical for a second. You're going at it with your spouse and
Mm-hmm.
he grabs you.
Mm-hmm.
His hands are going to be like around your wrists, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
you were to pull away or something, it's going to make more like it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to explain. We're on a computer, right? I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
explain it. I
Right.
can see
I
them on,
know. But
but
no, I see what you mean. I
yeah,
do. Yeah.
and it's just like her always saying that she's got all these bruises and all this stuff, and he's punching
Mm-hmm.
her. Do you see the rings the man wears? Like if he
Mm-hmm.
punched
The
some
marks.
in
Yeah.
the
The yeah.
face,
Mm-hmm.
those rings are going to tear skin. They're going to leave marks. I just, she's awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because here's someone who loves taking pictures anyway, and she photographs everything, and she wants to prove everything. Where is it? Where
Yes.
is it? She has her phone with her all the time.
And she's
You know,
super vain,
it
so she is
okay.
always taking pictures.
Mhm.
So why is there
It,
never any evidence?
exactly. That's the problem, is that it doesn't correlate with the statements, because she had the phone with her there. It wasn't taken away from her. She could have. But then when she does provide evidence, the pictures are a day later, or the metadata says they're a day or so later, and they're not of the date. Then you know what I mean. They're not like there's more going on there. There's like most of her
Yeah.
testimony has been fraught with these kind of things. About the scars, Amber says, I've had these scars on my arms since that evening, and I have never self-harmed. Johnny is the self-harmer. I am not a self-harmer. Question: These photograph was taken how long after Australia? This was taken by my lawyers in 2000, probably 19. Fairly recently, I would say, in relation to my libel case. I am not a party to these proceedings. So last year, sometime last year, yeah, I believe so. So we have photographs of damage to the property. Yes, no, that is just what room I was in. But we do not have any photographs of injuries taken, the injuries that you have described. Miss Heard has said that the photograph 51 shows some of the injuries she sustained. You have described this incident as a 3-day hostage situation, at one point barricading yourself into the bedroom. I don't know. And that's again the mirror. What is this? This I forget what this is
Oh, this
actually.
is a
This thing.
lampshade.
Oh yes, that they wrote on. Okay.
And he
Now,
actually did do that. He admits to it.
yeah, he did this. Good luck and be careful. But yeah, and that is how he writes. You see, he's like a graffiti artist. Yes,
Very block.
we
Yeah,
we yeah we see him in the Discord. He writes like a graffiti artist all the time.
he does.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Johnny was gone from the house to seek care for his hand. He had ample opportunity to take. She had ample opportunity to take photos of her injuries. Her injuries. She even takes a photo of a mirror, but not herself. When pressed about the validity of her hostage claims, she concedes that she had her phone and could have left.
Yep.
Yep. Uh, I am going to suggest that you had the opportunity to leave. I am sorry you do not remember the stairs down to the outside. Not from the balcony. There may have been. Yes, sorry, Miss Laws. What was the next question? You had the opportunity to leave at any point during those 3 days, and did you not? I could have called someone to come and get me, yes, but the property itself was quite isolated. You have described yourself as being a hostage type situation. That is in your statement I read out earlier, yes? Yeah, I said it was like one. Is that true? That is how I described it. That is total lies, is it not? Because you had a cell phone? Yes. Ben King, the estate manager, was asked about the damage to the house. His answer is that the damage was primarily in the bar area, of which he provides a photo and negates all the other nonsense she says above involving food. Oh boy. That's the kitchen, right? The bar area.
Yeah. He was sitting there, and you can see where the glass in the back is broken.
Yep.
Like there was obviously something that went on, but Johnny Depp lost a finger.
Yeah, he's the one that had the injury there. And is this? And then let me ask you: the recording that we hear, is this where it was taken? Was this the argument?
So
the recording that's out there about her and where she's quite aggressive, trying to goad him when he's drinking when his mother was ill. Is it here or is this another location?
Another location. So
it's another location. Okay.
The only recording from Australia was after they had taken Johnny away, and Amber started recording on her phone. And it's the one where I've sent you some of the block writing.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could hear Dr. Kipper talking, and you could hear the nurse talking, and they were actually, you could hear them saying, he actually said in the recording, like, she actually did this. She did this. And now she's, we could look at that another time, but it's insane to listen to because the whole entire thing, which was hours, they never say anything about injury to Amber. They are searching all over the place for the tip of Johnny's finger. That was what was going on.
Right. Yeah, that was his
finger. They had already taken Johnny away, and Amber was like, "I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm so sorry. I never meant to."
Right. It was evident she was apologizing and for the incident. Yeah, I remember that recording actually. It was like she had done something wrong. Miss Was, this is about they're going to talk about the damage in the house here. We can see from that photograph a smashed window at the top of the picture. Amber says yes. Smashed glasses, debris on the side, bottles of alcohol in the fridge and out of the fridge. She says yes. And blood spots on the floor, is that right? Yes, that is what I see in the photograph. This was simply part of a much greater picture of wreckage, was it not? I would say that this was the predominant damage in the house in that area. Now we're going to have a statement from who is this statement from? I can't remember. This somebody was in the house, right? On the time. During my employment with Mr. Depp and Miss Heard, I frequently witnessed Miss Heard evading and attempting to provoke Mr. Depp. I never witnessed Mr. Depp be violent or unkind towards Miss Heard, or indeed towards anyone else. In March 2015, I was urgently summoned by my colleagues to the rented house I was managing on behalf of Mr. Depp and Miss Heard in Australia. When I arrived, I found a significant amount of damage, particularly to the bar area on the lower ground floor. The mirror behind the bar was heavily cracked, and there was broken glass and other debris strewn on or around the bar. I was told that Mr. Depp's fingertip had been severed. Whilst cleaning up the broken glass and debris, I looked for the fingertip and found it on the floor of the bar area. I was not informed at that time what had caused the damage to the property or to Mr. Depp's hand. I suggested to Mr. Depp's head of security, Mr. Jerry Judge, that Miss Heard be removed from the property and escorted back to Los Angeles. I volunteered to accompany Miss Heard. Okay. So that's the end of that statement. I guess that was the property. Okay, that's the property manager who said who did give a deposition. That's probably part of the deposition from the lawsuit. They gave a deposition in support that he never saw any incident ever but he did come later. He did see the damage. It was only in the bar area, as he had just said. He could not attest to anything else that Amber was saying that was going on, and that Amber's agitated state was that maybe she should leave so that they could take care of like the damage that was done to the facility as it was. But he found the fingertip, which was good. It was a good thing. But,
and then got MRSA 3 times.
Yeah, unfortunately. Here's a part of a statement again about the damage to the house. I recently looked for photographs of the damage, and I exhibit at BKXX a photograph which I took that afternoon on March 8th of the bar area. It shows the countertop, which was damaged and which I had to arrange to get repaired. On the countertop is the phone. To the best of my recollection, the handset has not been damaged, and I did not see any phones which had been broken. I did not arrange for any phones in the house to be replaced. I do not recall damage to a wall where a wall-mounted phone had been forcibly removed, or any sign of a phone being ripped from the wall. I do not recall a shattered phone or handset. All of the phones in the house were bakelite or plastic standard phones. This is in contrary to Amber's statement about the phone, like what Johnny did by ripping the phone off. All of her, she gave a very long statement about everything that happened that weekend, and there was a lot of accusations of his rampage, of rage, of how he was acting. And this is the actual property manager saying, I don't even see any of that happening here. Like none of that damage is here. So he's, it's kind of like point counterpoint to her deposition. A lot of the damage was paint and blood around the house. One of the ground floor rooms had been set up as a painting studio, and the paint appeared to have come from there. The carpets and rugs in the house required professional cleaning, and I used a local company, which were recommended because they had done work at the house before. As I would always do when I have someone come into a house to clean up, I chaperoned them around. As I said, they had to remove blood spots and paint splatters. However, there were no urine stains, which needed to be cleaned. I did not see any signs of urine, and I did not smell it, as I would have done had someone urinated around the house. That was another claim of Amber's, that Johnny was so out of his mind and drunk or whatever that he was walking around the house peeing on stuff. Did not happen. Didn't happen. Also, none of the doors inside the house were damaged or any locks on the doors which had them. One thing which I did notice was the blood spots appeared in a number of different rooms around the house. As I knew that Mr. Depp's finger had been cut, I believed that he must have walked away from where it happened, which I believe was the bar area where I found the fingertip. Right. And so, there are witnesses like to the state of the house and everything afterwards. Okay. She had said about all the food being everywhere. There was no food anywhere. Like she had made this whole long statement, right, about food being thrown at her, there's no food anywhere. And obviously it's not been cleaned up because the glass and all is still there. Like, so I don't get, like, how would you clean up all of that around the glass? You'd leave the glass,
Who knows?
I don't know. Ben then accompanies Amber back to LA the very next day. When Amber arrives, she goes to dinner with her friends and is described as feeling sad, but goes to dinner with her friends and is laughing and in good spirits. Hardly the behavior of someone who just endured hell. Now remember, she's telling a judge previous to this that it was 3 days of hell. She was held against her will. She'd been starved, she wasn't allowed to eat, she was tortured, she was yelled at, things were thrown at her. She had been beaten and choked. Terrible things happened to her. She's supposedly all cut up. And then she goes like out to dinner. Like, I understand, like some people react to things differently, but the way that she reacts to these terrible situations that possibly happened to her is just very bizarre. It's just very bizarre. I don't know. Do you want to read? Can you read? Oh no.
It's pretty small.
Okay. No, I got it then. It's like, okay.
I can.
On the flight.
That was better if you need me to. Yeah,
just a little bit. I'm going to moisten my throat a little. Just let me know when you want me to get the next one up. Well, I'll hear you actually. But,
Okay.
I think
On a flight back to Los Angeles, Miss Heard asked me, have you ever been so angry with somebody that you just lost it? I replied that had never happened to me. She seemed incredulous and asked again, you have never been so angry with someone that you just lost it. Again, I answered that I had not, and Miss Heard did not continue on the topic. This question seemed alarming to me given the severity of the damage I had earlier witnessed at the house and the apparent serious injury to Mr. Depp's finger. I later read in the media that it was alleged that Miss Heard had thrown a glass vodka bottle at Mr. Depp, and when the bottle smashed on the marble countertop, which I had to subsequently clear up and have repaired, the impact of the bottle had severed Mr. Depp's fingertip.
Yep, that's how they're saying that happened. There we go. This is the medical notes. Is that too small? Let me see if I can.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right. I hate the arrows. Hopefully you can see this.
It's so frustrating.
I know.
So this was 3/9 of 15. And this is medical notes for Amber Heard, RN and patient in touch via text and phone call after patient arrived at 1500. Patient expressed feeling sad. Patient attempted 2-hour psychotherapy session, reports feeling a little more sorted out after session. RN met patient and her friends for dinner at 2200. Patient appears in good spirits, laughing, socializing, appetite normal. Patient states she would like to discuss recent events between her and her husband with RN in private tomorrow. Plans are made for RN to visit patient at her home tomorrow. Patient has been compliant with medication throughout the day with prompting. RN encouraged patient to notify her of any needs throughout the night. So understand this. This is on the 9th. This is after she already flew back.
Right. She's in LA now. Right.
She's back in LA and she had a 2-hour psychotherapy session, and now she's going for dinner with her friends, and she's in good spirits, laughing and socializing.
And medicated.
After you had 3 days where you were held in a hostage situation, that's really brave of her.
And I'll talk to you about it tomorrow because it's not that important right now. I got to go get a cheeseburger.
Right. Or some wine.
That's always my first concern, Mandy. I mean, come on. Like,
loves her wine.
Get your cheeseburger, your wine and your cheeseburger. Like, really, seriously. I know I make light, but I just can't stand it. I just can't stand it. I just can't. She's just too much. I mean, she really does think she's pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. Like, she really did give it a good shot. But it's all unraveling because, you cannot control the rest of the world. You can only control yourself. And she's a hot mess. She's not in control. She's making huge allegations and putting it all out there. And then, no one's actually coming forth and collaborating it.
Yeah.
It's having a hard time here. Last piece on this one, love.
And this goes back to the estate manager. I arrived at the house March 8th of March 2015, shortly after Mr. Depp had been driven away. I realized afterwards that I had passed him on the driveway in my car as he was being driven in the opposite direction. As I said in my first statement, when I got to the house that day, there was a considerable amount of damage, particularly to the bar area on the lower ground level floor. I was in charge of arranging the cleanup and replacing things or getting damage repaired. And the immediate physical damage was tidy up, such as broken glass, paint, blood, liquids, spillages, and broken china where a cup had struck the TV. I also cleaned the graffiti from the mirrors. I was there for several hours. I then went to pick up my bag and my passport. Once it was agreed that I would fly back to LA with Miss Heard, I left knowing that I would have to come back and get the house back in shape. I came back around a week later to deal with a large cleanup work, such as organizing the floors to be sanded, the curtains clean, paint work, and plaster work, and chip stone on the countertop in the bar area, and on the staircase down to the bar where the flower vase had been launched from the kitchen area above.
Wow. That's, yeah. Well, okay. Man. You know what I love is that, you know, why we link Jax and Laura so much. It's all the detail. Like they pull it all together. You know, basically the inconsistencies a lot. You know, uh, Jax now continues on that she also is preoccupied with the insurance for her new car. Text date 3/9/2015. The day she arrives back in LA from Australia, she wants her insurance, not medical treatment for her horrendous fare. Okay, so let's be clear. She doesn't go to a hospital. She's not seeing. She is seeing professionals. She has medical professionals around here all the time. She's in contact, right, with a nurse daily. You see this, right? They're going over her medications. They're talking. She is not requesting any medical treatment whatsoever for physical altercations of any type. Like she has nothing going on. She's not asking to see anybody. She's not asking to go to a hospital. Nothing. Okay, this is a text from Amber. I also have the insurance paperwork for the Range Rover. I looked at it, and the name of the insurance is just Johnny's. Can you please add me to the policy, or add my name, rather? I can leave it for you on the table here at Penthouse 3 if you want. Like, that's it. She's very calm. She's working on day-to-day business, you know? Just like before, when they said they were trying to get the HBO thing set up. It was just like everyday kind of stuff, like going back and forth on the text messaging. And she has her phone with her all the time. She could be in contact with somebody to get help, or to, you know, at least if this is going on, at least get some documentation of it in some way, you know?
I didn't realize that this was on there. This is what I was just talking about to you.
Yep.
So this is from Incredibly Average's website. Or YouTube. He hasn't actually made a video in like a year. He did a bunch, and then he kind of, I don't know why he stopped, to be honest. I was so upset that he stopped, because he is remarkable in what he does. But I think you would be okay playing this. I don't think that they would mind. I think they want more words.
Okay.
The more words out there, the better. So obviously it's just a clip, but
okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull it back.
Okay.
Yep.
This is what
wait, I gotta put the volume up. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna play it for you. That's the whole clip right there, right? So okay.
Well,
there's
upon hours of this audio.
Right.
But
this is only a minute, right? But they do link. The full version is on YouTube, courtesy of that Brian Fellow. So you can go to his Twitter to find his YouTube, and you can find it. I'll actually, once I update the description, I'll actually put the link down there. But remember, we have the links to these to the people that run these threads right down there below. When I'm finished, I actually will link the threads that we're using for this discussion down there, so it's easier to locate them. Because let me tell you, they put so much out daily. In a couple of days, you won't be able to find this thread. It'll be like way, like really hot fallback. So we'll make it easier for you, and I'll link the actual threads down below too, so you can jump around. So as long as they're active, you can get to them. And I will link his YouTube. I will track that down for you too. All right, so here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Maybe she should have some. I told Mandy to go over to use it.
Can I give her a 50 haircut?
What?
50 haircut?
Yeah.
300 around?
Yeah.
She only usually takes 25. You okay with 50?
Oh, the Sarah?
Yeah.
I'd be okay with 100. If yours 50. So I'll tell you what's going on in that. This is guilt. This is guilt.
Oh.
She won't take 50. I gave her 25 and 300 and said we reassess in a little bit.
Hmm. Oh boy. Oh. Well, and that's, you can hear her definitely
It makes me wonder.
distraught. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like all about, like, if I don't even want to get into like the how anybody acts if they've been the victim of an attack of any nature, but it does sound more like she's more worried about him than herself right there. Like, she's like, I don't want to lose him, like he needs me, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, like, and then talking about she doesn't want people talking, she doesn't want people uh you know talking about this way, she doesn't want to be away from him. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could take it both ways. I want to be a little fair, but I actually can't. I'm really leaning, because I tell you, I'm biased. I admit it, but it does sound quite guilty of Amber, the way she's talking, that she may have been complicit in what was wrong with Johnny at the time that she's so worried about. You know.
And
I don't know.
let me just be clear. I think that their situation was unfortunately toxic, and he
Yes.
He actually did admit that he scraped her feet with the door in the penthouse one time. So he did admit to that. And he admit that he actually did headbutt her. So, I think that when it gets to that level under any scenario, that's just not good. Thank you.
It is.
Kiki, toxic on both sides. But I just take it to when you take it to a whole another level and you accuse somebody of SA, and it gets that deep, like that's where it takes a really, really special person to do that sort of thing. So,
it does sound very exasperated. I mean, Kiki says, what do you think that means? You mean the conversation? To me, I'm getting the impression that they're trying to calm her down, that she's really over excited, very, distraught at this point. But the use of her language to me speaks. It sounds like guilt speak to me. I don't know. I hate to actually put a label like that on it and say that she actually did it, but it does appear that she's quite guilty at this point for something that happened to Johnny, and that it's being taken care of. And she just wants to be with him because I don't know if it's controlling or if it's just that she has the need to make it up to him, or to tell her she's sorry. I don't know, but she seems really concerned about the two of them being separated, and him being taking care of his injury and being the injured party somewhere else without her, and her going back to LA separate from him. It is evident that she's like really very upset, and like Mandy said, that Johnny has always said he's not innocent of everything, that he is volatile in some cases, and that he did, have a temper at certain times. He admits to his past of drinking and drug use, but you have to remember, at the point that this was happening, he was considered, wasn't he sober, going into sober, like at this point?
During this pirate filming, I believe he was just
like, and it's also documented that Amber is not. Okay, and there's like Amber is drinking and partying a lot, obviously on medication. I'm sure they both had doctors there and were on medications for certain things or whatever. They both admit to having struggles. Well, it is evident, like Mandy said, that it's a very toxic situation between the two of them. No party is completely innocent, but is Johnny guilty of all the horrendous things? I mean, the over exaggerations. We're not saying nothing happened. We're saying Amber took a small kernel of something and turned it into a huge club to beat a man down because she didn't win. She's acting to me like an entitled brat who didn't get her way. He's going to love me or he's going to pay. I'm going to be the one or there'll be no one. I mean, that's what it speaks to me of that type of person. But I'm adding more into it too, based on all the other things I've heard and all the other clips I've heard of her. But to me, that's where I'm leaning. Definitely.
So
Hey, just saying, how are you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
He, in the hospital, he was actually tested. And I think that he did end up drinking some vodka that they were fought in when they were fighting, but there weren't any other substances that would be alarming, that like shouldn't have been there. He was, somewhat coherent, although very shaken up by the situation. So it wasn't like, at one point she said that he ate like 14 and then it was 10 MDMA tablets or something, and just went on this complete and total rampage, and toxicology said that was a lie. So
yeah, exactly.
But this is a good piece too. I like this piece that Jax brings up.
She goes back to the end and she goes, oh, by the way, I forgot a piece. Amber willingly goes back to the house with him after he has surgery on his hand in LA. She goes back to the place she says she just endured horrible atrocities by choice to be alone with him again, and says it's no big deal. I mean, that's kind of hard to justify. I understand, like, not like when you're in the situation, not being able to think clearly, not being able to get out. Okay. This, that, and the other thing, maybe not making a call. They say when you read testimonies of others that have been through abuse cases like this, it is hard to understand the mindset while it's going on.
Right.
What I don't understand is you got out, you're free of the person. Okay. It was so horrible that you could give like a 108-page deposition about the atrocities, and yet you are right back there a couple of days later, like nothing happened and everything's fine. Right to the same place with the same man who apparently did all this horrible stuff. I mean, come on, Mandy, make that make sense. Am I being a little too hard here or what? I mean, I cannot
be somebody who has been in a DV situation. He did things like pull the battery cables off my battery so I couldn't leave the house.
Right.
I was secluded from my friends and my family, stuff like that. So, like you're saying, so quick, just scenario here. He is wounded in Australia. She flies home the next day. The next day when she flies home, she isn't specific. She has, in my opinion, friends and resources to be able to leave if she needed to, seek
to protect herself.
To protect herself.
Mm-hmm.
And he flew back a couple days later, had surgery, and then they went back. And I believe when they went back, was it the smuggling of the dogs that time?
I think that's the whole dog thing. Yeah. Which I didn't pull that part up because, like, as you can see, we're already an hour and a half in. I could tell I could tell you right now, we're not going to get to the legal, the libel case documentation. However, in anticipation of that, because I know how Mandy and I get with this stuff, and we could go on and on about one part of it, I have linked a really great resource for you to get every single detail about that case, should you like, in down below. So that even though we haven't been able to talk about it like piece by piece, you can find all of the information, all of the testimony, everything, based on that website that I listed below from Nick, who actually covered it quite well. And in great detail. So, we're thinking ahead. And you may not be able to hear it come out of our lips about all of it right now. Maybe another episode before trial, if we get there, depending on when trial is going to be. But
so Belinda, I I just agree. I stayed with my ex-husband for years. And and I can't actually, what happened actually? He finally left me for someone else, but when he did that, it was almost like, oh, thank God. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's the father of my children. I wanted kids with their dad. It just wasn't work, but I did
Right.
multiple times
Mm-hmm.
go and then come back together and go and come back together. So, definitely, it's definitely
Yeah.
cyclical in that sense, unfortunately.
Right.
Definitely.
So,
I think
yeah.
things are different because when I speak of these things with Johnny and Amber, it's because I researched and seen a lot and spent a lot of time trying to understand. It's something that I feel, comfortable speaking my opinion on. I don't
Right.
feel this way about all situations. Like
No, I know, but yeah.
so
I give you a lot of credit for it because it is hard because you have to come from it from a personal. You're trying to be unbiased, but then also have your personal experience with it. So you're looking at it through a different lens. But this is why I am so adamant to tell everybody, yes, I am biased, and I am going to be out here speaking on YouTube about this until this trial is over. And if I have to backtrack later, fine. But it's wrong what's happening to Johnny, because here's what he does. When you hijack a movement for your own personal use, you take away the voice of someone like Mandy, who actually went through it and needed this protection, or anyone else in the chat or out on YouTube or anywhere else. You are damaging the cause to protect people who actually needed it. You are making a mockery of the system that we put in place to take care of people. And I find that extremely offensive. And when I say I don't like Amber, that's why. I don't like Amber. Okay? I don't know Amber, but just the fact that she did that for her own personal use, and she used a movement that is supposed to do so much good and protect people, and she used it for her own personal agenda to get what she wanted in a divorce, like a little spoiled brat. I take great offense, and not just for myself, but for Mandy and everybody else out there who could have used this system to protect themselves in some way, who could have used it for all the right reasons. Okay. And yet it makes it harder. It makes it harder for them in the long run. If legislation has to change because lawsuits like this are necessary to check a person, it is a shame that Johnny actually has to sue her like this to say that it didn't happen. There should be more available as far as the movement to protect someone like Johnny or any of the other, but they're not worried so much about the accused as they are the actual victims. And I get it. That's what the movement is for. But when somebody goes and hijacks it, there shall be serious repercussions against that person, because they are causing great damage to how this is supposed to work. It's offensive. That's what bothers me the most about it, Mandy, is it takes away your voice and everybody else's voice in the situation. It's just ridiculous.
My husband's with his
Yeah. So. Yes. The opposite. We're not talking about just women here. Men too. Can you imagine how hard it is already for a man to come forward with accusations against someone like this? They're going to make it even harder with cases like Amber Heard. It's just not right. It's hard enough. It's messy enough. They have enough pain. They don't need her making a mockery of it. That's for sure. But
cool beats.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you. Yeah, so that's my preaching for now. Sorry. But I can't help it. The bear, she's got this little soapbox she carries around with her on her side, and every once in a while she steps up and then has to step back off again. But when it comes to this, I just can't. I can't abide. You know what I mean? I can't be quiet. There's just no way. So do you want this one, or do you want? Let me just remark that this is page 1864 of this questioning about her deposition. Okay. Page 1864. Let that sink in. There's that how many questions that we have about her deposition. Okay. 1,864. and we're not done. Nowhere near done, right?
If you want an analysis of Amber Heard's recorded deposition, please go see Observe. He is like, it was so good. So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The recorded one when they did the visual. Yeah, he did. He did a thing. I should link that. I'll add that after the show. I'll go find that. I think it's on YouTube, right? I do believe he left it on YouTube. It's still up. So I'll link. If I find it, I'll link it for you all. Mandy and I have seen everything. Like we just like pass stuff back and forth, and I've watched all of this, but it's hard to keep it all in one place, like so that we have it, at our fingertips. Hopefully this playlist at the end will have so much information in the descriptions that anybody like looking for anything about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp will be able to find whatever they need.
I'm actually putting it all in our Discord chat. Our personal one. I gave you Incredibly Averages link, and then I just put Observes, so you can just go grab them out of our Discord chat.
And you wonder why I love this woman, right? People, it's quite evident, right? It's just like we go together like bread and butter.
Remind me to tell you something when we're done. I've got a good one for you guys, but go ahead. You'll love it.
Okay. All right. Let me go. So Amber says, yes, that is right. And the question is, and into the same bedroom? And she says, yes. Within weeks of what happened in Australia, it was nearly 2 months later. The very place where you had felt unsafe and frightened, in fear for your life because you were isolated, that is not what made me fear for my life. You were in fear for your life and you felt isolated. You have given evidence earlier today about how you felt. You were a hostage because there was no one else around. Do you remember that evidence? Because she's actually pointing out that just like right above, she goes, oh, that's not why I was in fear for my life. But she had just testified that it was because it was all isolated and everything. And Amber says, Johnny, the monster, rather, nearly killed me. But I loved him. I loved the Johnny that was clean and sober, and he made a promise to get clean and sober for good because he needed to be for his surgery. And when he appeared to pull through that surgery, I really believed, as I did so many other times, that it was bad enough to where he would actually get clean and sober for once, and that it was the last time. And I had hope that he would get better. I had so much hope. So she's inferring there that while they were in Australia the first time, that he wasn't sober. Yeah, and I'm offended by that because he claims that he was trying, and so do his friends that he was. So here's the rest of this crapola with meat dress too.
She's so funny.
They got snark. I gotta love these girls. I do. All right, Amber. There was a broken window. This is now on the main level. I was upstairs in the bedroom level, so I only made it down one flight. There was one window broken, and the painting in the living room area where I had a painting area set up in the corner. My paints were out. It appeared to be that maybe he had either thrown or dropped paint on the floor and on the wall, on one of the walls. More messages in paint and blood. I could see both textures. Mr. Justice Nickel, just a minute. I found raw meat. At first, I did not know what it was on the floor. I bent over. You said raw meat on the floor? Yes, not just on the floor. I continued to find it for the next day, hidden in various places. It had taken my nightgown. He had taken my nightgown and ripped it into shreds and had wrapped food. Just a minute, please. He had wrapped pieces of food. I had tried to make dinner the night before. I had just set it out. I did not actually get so far as to try to cook. He had taken various things from it. Here she is. She's talking about the food. But you remember the pictures? They clearly, no witnesses found any food anywhere out at all. Like this is what bothers me. This is all made up. This part. I mean, first of all, it's raw meat. Okay, if it's out there, it's going to smell. They're going to find it, right? She's actually accusing him of putting raw meat like in different places all over the house. Like, wouldn't they have found it? Wouldn't the man who came in to clean and to check the damages have smelled something? like the urine that never happened,
That's the thing. I think that some of the situations are just so elaborate that you're like, wow, this is crazy, just to try to make it seem that he's just like such a terrible person. And it's
I
just
know.
really
But
sad.
here, when you have to add that much to a story to try to make it credible, you're doing such a disservice. You're just making it more and more uncredible and discredible, misinformation, things that people can check. I mean, when people do this all the time, we're trying to prove a point and they just over inform with the lies and the misdirects, leaving plenty of places for people to check. And that's unfortunately why everything about Amber Heard is on I mean, not unfortunately, fortunately for Johnny and for us, she has given us so much to look at that can be proved just outright lies and falsities. Outright, it just makes the whole story less and less credible. And I'm hoping that it comes out in trial. Like, what can you just imagine the question and answers when she's actually up there and has to answer? If I would her attorney, I wouldn't be letting her up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad enough. She's had to take back her statements 11 times to correct them. It's bad enough. Can you imagine how you're going to do that in the trial, like one-on-one? The next day they come back and they go, "Could you strike that record because Amber recalls it differently today?" It's like, reset, push a button. Here we go. I don't know.
Like,
I know. It's just like, I know. I'm just like, I am absolutely. I can imagine we're going to be thrilled and frustrated to all hell, Mandy, on when the trial's going on. Like, it's just going to be. It's just going to be.
Have to get up early. Yeah. You guys are on the East Coast. Like, what if it starts at like 8 or 9 in the morning? I'm gonna be.
Well, the hell, I'll still be up from the night before. I'll record it for you because I won't even be in bed yet. I probably won't sleep for days. This is not looking good for me. Actually, I'm gonna have to nap. I'm gonna have to nap in the middle of the night or something. Like, okay, yeah. This is what I love about Jackson and Laura. They pull everything out. Like every little piece you could find about Australia, they put it all together. Adding the discharge form from Johnny's finger treatment in Australia. Take note of the doctor's assessment. Says he accidentally cut it with the kitchen knife. Fracture more proximally suggested of a crushing mechanism.
So the doctor's basically saying, yeah, his story's full of
shit. Yes, he didn't cut it. He's protecting her because it got crushed with that bottle, just like he says it happened, on that counter. Okay. Diagnosis was of a finger. Okay. I guess the hashtag means, sever, Thanks for seeing and treating this patient. He sustained an injury to his right middle finger tonight after accidentally cutting it with the kitchen knife. He has an oblique D-tipping injury that commences distal to the DIPJ of the ulnar side and runs obliquely to the midline of the tip of the finger. X-ray shows a comminuted cut of the tuft and an oblique fracture more proximally suggesting a crushing mechanism. His doctor did bring in a small fragment of tissue that felt abnormally firm, hard, and was felt to be unsuitable for a graft. He had a ring block with ropivacaine, which is like a type of lidocaine, and the wound was cleaned by the doctor, he was a plastic and hand surgeon. After further supplementation of the ring block with additional bupivacaine, his tetanus was updated and he received a single dose of IV. Oh gosh, help me, I'm not even reading it. Unfortunately, he will not be able to continue working until the finger is well healed, and this will be several weeks. His private doctor has a supply of Augmentin and will administer it twice daily. He will be followed up tomorrow by the doctor and surgical options discussed. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that is the end of... Now we're into the comments of everybody. That is the end of Australia by Jax. There we go. So let me just get rid of that. Oh, my gosh. And we did an hour and a half of that. Oh, let me see.
There's just so much. It's just such
There is just so much.
It's a hard thing to talk about. It's just so overwhelming, and to see this happening is, I don't know.
And I'm telling, I mean, this is it's hard when we're going over the actual abuse allegations, always for me. And I know that it's not easy for anyone who's been in the situation. I give you a lot of credit for you actually being able to read some of the things that she accuses him of, and some of the stuff, it's just like, it gets me. Just really, really bad. Yeah. It's like there's so many pages to this of the questioning back and forth of her depositions. I would, they're anticipating this to only be like 6 weeks or so, the case. I would imagine it's going to be like longer. I think it's going to be much longer.
Yeah. They just it was supposed to be only 3, and then they extended it to 6 with a break in the middle because the judge has something else going on. But yeah, when I saw his witness list and there was like 38 people listed, I was like, oh my.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull his up first.
Did you notice Amber's witness list is little old Rocket Man?
No, I'm going to pull her up too. That's what we're going to do. Let's pull up we're going to pull up both of their witness lists just to go over some of the little things that we find on there. Let's see. Let me get the right one. Oh, I did. Look at that. First up, we have Johnny. Look at that. I got it in order too. I'm like, whoa, thank you, StreamYards. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this is Johnny's witness list, and of course he's got Johnny, and then he's got Sean Bett by in-person testimony, Gina Dieters, Stephen Dieters. They were Stephen, he was in contact with a lot, and even in Australia. Ben King, Malcolm Connolly, security, right? Travis McGivern, I think he's coming by. They're both going by video link. Okay. Now I gotta pop out and get the second one. Let's just hope that this does very well. Nope. Not that one. There's one more. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, let me pull this up this way. Okay, Starling Jenkins. David Kipper, Dr. David Kipper, Isaac Barrick, then he's saying whether they're video link or in person. Kevin Murphy, Christian Carino, Christy Dombrowski, that's his sister, right? She'll be there in person. Tara Roberts, Edward White, Sam Sakar, Paul Bettany by video, Keenan Wyatt, Jack Wiggum, Leonard Damien, Robin Baum, Andy Milner, Samantha McMillan. See that?
Yes.
And Adam Waldman, the attorney, Trinity Esperanza, Kate James, Debbie Rassal, the psychiatrist, Shannon Curry, Richard Gilbert, Richard Marks. Okay. Oh, here we go to the next. Be cooperative, StreamYards. I believe that's this one. Nope. There. No. It keeps throwing them down farther and farther. There it is. Last page. Okay, we've got Michael Spindler, the accountant, Doug Bania, Brian Newsmaster, Kimberly Ann Collins, Dr. Richard Shaw, Rachel Frost, and any witnesses identified by the defendant and counterclaim plaintiff Amber Heard, to whom plaintiff does not object. Okay, and any witnesses necessary for rebuttal or impeachment. In other words, if she brings somebody forward, they're allowed to add them to their witness list to counter, or anybody that comes up during hers. Did you note anybody of notice there, Mandy? Like, was anybody sticking out to you? Were you surprised?
No, I'm more surprised of Amber's list.
Let me get Amber's up. Yeah.
Because apparently, she's not even calling Raquel Pennington.
Yeah, and that is her star affidavit witness, by the way. She mentioned her a lot in the beginning.
The
Yeah.
one that was supposedly there during some of these things. I was like, what? They don't want to bring them because their stories change too much. It's bad.
Yeah. Yes, we have the link for Legal Bites, Kiki. Yes, we're going to see if the cameras are allowed. They're going to be streaming it. So we've been linking Legal Bites. I did link them in the last video that we talked about them. They did a little shot out that we're working with, and yeah, that's a great little. She said she's going to be following everything too, from what we saw, and she's going to go to the trial and give us tweeted updates. Well, we gotta watch her Twitter too, because it's gonna be lit, But here is
go
go ahead.
DC, if I remember right. I think Kiki can confirm that because I see Kiki around in the same places.
Welcome, yeah. Welcome, Kiki, to the Depp. We're Deppites, right? Or what do they call us? Like we're little Deppites now. We're just following the case until we get justice for him. He you know what? I do think that he should call Raquel Pennington. I really do, Kiki. I agree with you because they could rip up that testimony right there. But I do believe there was some legal back and forth. I think Raquel was fighting it. Is that true? I do believe I saw something about that. Yeah. I don't think she wants to testify.
I am here. I never even I think they're not calling Io Tillett either.
Yeah, wonder why. Liar, pants on fire. I'm sorry, Tillett. I mean, he's just. Oh, come on.
Liar.
He got
my whole entire Instagram.
He got caught in so many lies about this already. Like it's unbelievable. There's a reason that all of his social media went away. Yeah. All right. So, of course, she lists herself and Johnny, but look at all these people. Like, I don't even recognize some of these names. Like, who are these people, Mandy? They're by deposition or designation. But Adam Berkovi will be there in person. So will Catherine Arnold. Okay. And Julian Ackert, whoever they are, but there's more to come. This is like 3 pages of these. Sorry, guys.
It's just funny how she included everybody to make her list expanded, where Johnny just included the people they're actually either going to have there or
right,
or
but
Julie and she did the third column is deposition use, so she's gonna use pieces of these people's deposition but not them, and that's why like Rocky and and I think there was another one here, but I was really surprised that she wasn't calling. Yeah, look, Rocky right there.
She is there, but only by deposition. So I guess they did get one. She's got Raquel. She's right down here, Raquel Pennington. She does have her on there for deposition only in the third column. But she got Dr. Kepper on here, the same as Johnny. So that means that Johnny is going to have a chance. That's good news for us, though, actually, isn't it, Amanda? Because Johnny gets they get the cross-examine Pennington.
Okay, there's Muskie, the Rocket Man.
There it is. And Elon, of course, Can you imagine him on a witness stand? I think he's just doing a deposition, right? Oh, no. What was column 2 again? Now I got to go back and find. Tina Newman from Walt Disney. Raquel's on there. Okay, let me get down here. Ronald Schnell and David Spiegel will be in person. Tasha Van Ree. Most everybody is only by deposition. And we got one more.
In Seattle for DV. She's going to call Tasha. So do you think Tasha's going to be honest? Doubtful.
Yeah, I would hope so. I hate to think that anybody is going to give like false testimony, but you never know. So, I just wanted to show here that they've got a lot of records and all that they want to bring in, a lot of financial records and things like that. And I'm trying to say, what does that have to do with, well, they do it. Some of it is the custodial records from the police. Okay. And here was page 2. I kind of skipped it, but she does have her sister. She's doing a deposition on Johnny's sister. James Franco is listed. Tyler Hayden is still in here. Jennifer Howell, Dawn Hughes, Melanie Iglesias, is doing a deposition. That's probably already on file. I think I read something about that. But in person will be Whitney Henriquez, Dawn Hughes, and Alan Jacobs. So, I mean, she's got a much longer list than he does, actually.
Well, that's because she included the people. No, she has a much smaller list. She just tried to make it like a bigger list.
As far as actual testimony, I think you're correct.
All the deposition people, Johnny did not do.
He didn't. Right.
They were to be calling.
Right. And so it does appear that her list is so much bigger, but you're right. It's not. When you look at column 1 and column 2, there's much less in there. And then
19 and he's got like a 35 or 36 or something. 38 or something.
That's it.
It's still going to be just a very long trial. It's just crazy.
And Kiki is reminding me that column 2 means it was going to be a video. It's like live testimony, but not in the classroom. I mean, in the courtroom, the classroom. Listen to me. Oh my God. In the courtroom, it's going to be by video link, either a Zoom call or some kind of presentation. But yes, not just a paper deposition done at a later time. Thank you, Kiki, for reminding me with column 2. So it is kind of like being there, but not being there, I know. It's too funny. This is so messy, though. Yes, I am doing the deep dive, Hawk. Yeah, it is very, very messy. It is. But we have only a few more minutes. We got 10 minutes, Mandy, and we're definitely not getting to the libel. I mean, we're barely out of Australia. We could just talk a little bit about the ridiculousness of the dog incident in Australia, since that's Australia related, if you'd like, for the next 10 minutes. But that was kind of crazy when that all came out. Basically, they wanted to bring the dogs with them. And actually, Amber's team, it was discovered, actually researched how to go along about that process, because Australia has a process about bringing animals into the country, by commercial flight or even private flight or anything like that. Just coming in, there's a procedure that you need to follow. And Amber's team knew all about it. And they just didn't bother to do it, did they? They technically decided, we're not going to do that. Originally, when everything came forward and everything, and they got fined, whatever, and the authorities are not too pleased with the total disregard for their policies and procedures, and they decide to do something about it. And Amber wants to try to blame Johnny for all of that.
She's being investigated right now by.
Yeah.
Okay. So, quick rundown. During the Libel UK case, I believe it was Kevin James gave testimony. And in that testimony, he showed proof that Amber actually was trying to manipulate him into illegally helping bring the dogs in. They were going to blame it on Amber's personal assistant, all this other stuff. So after the UK trial, Australia got wind of the testimony and reopened the case, and they are currently still investigating if they are going to punish or charge Amber anyway for lying to them, for illegally bringing them in, and all that stuff. So that's still going on.
Yeah. Because people do get annoyed, Amber. Just a point of reference here, when you actually disregard their policies, act like you didn't know about it, then get proven you did know about it, then you actively try a whole campaign about how you're going to blame it on somebody else because you did it, you're admitting you did it, and then you're lying in a court. You actually, when they asked you about it, you didn't even come clean and tell them what was going on. You lied again. So you know what, Australia, have at her. Please. Australia, have at her. Somebody needs to hold this girl to task. Like, she just gets away with everything. Somebody needs to say, oh, no, just sit down. No, sit down. Stop it. Just stop it, girl. Like, hey. I hope Australia's really pissed. They should be, because she's totally, just disregarded everything all your rules, your regulations, and then lied about it and laughed about it and then did it again. So like, come on, have at her, please.
Can you
definitely have at her?
pull up my Twitter without showing too
Your-
much of stuff? Yeah. Look at my
let me see if I can get it without showing too much. Then I will. But otherwise, I'm going to be very careful. Hold on, let me just look because I have Twitter up anyway. Everybody was looking at my stuff, but I cleaned it all out mostly, so you can't really see much. Let me see if I could search. Well, I mean, it's only DMs and stuff. So what? They know how many DMs I get. Big deal. Like, who cares? And my Twitter's pretty. It's all orange and black. See that? Like, I'm cool. That's it. Like, I can't stand all that white. It makes me crazy. So,
yeah.
Oh, here you are. All right, everybody's gonna know who you are, like they don't already. But here we go. And what am I looking for on here? So I only picked that up. Your last post was chatting tonight with us an hour ago. No, I'll look. Hold on. I'll go to tweets and replies and I'll find what is it about and I'll get it. I think I know what you're doing.
Hold on.
Hold on. Wait, here it is. Oh, wait. Credit to Taco Tuesday. Is that it? Were they locked? So I screenshot. Okay.
No.
24 hours. The dancer. No. Oh, here it is. Laura, the retweet of Laura with the testimony.
No, it's still trying to post. I don't know why it's not posting.
Okay. Because you got lots on here. Like I said, there's nothing about Amber though. Okay. So, won't you post it and I'll refresh. Cool.
Well, it's trying to.
Oh, it's not posting?
No.
What have you done, girl?
Do
you want to send it to me privately? I don't know.
Something's wrong with my Twitter. We all know.
Oh, wait. I got the dancers. Oh.
No, it would be above the one where I said just chatting a little tonight. But it's not going through. So.
I don't see it. That's because technically you have not posted yet, which is why I can't find it. So I don't know. It's a Twitter thing. I don't know. It's just a connection thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get it to do too much. Well, just tell me is there somewhere else I can find it for you?
No. Okay, now go check.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is so.
I just wanted to post a little something as we're finishing up.
It's love for Johnny. I can't wait to put this up. Wait a minute. It's just love. That's pretty cool. Okay. I will definitely put this up. We'll leave this on the screen.
Yeah. So, haha, Kiki Don, I love you. She's my new favorite person. I saw you like.
I know. Yes, she did. She liked to tweet, and the white hurts my eyes too. It's terrible. I love the dark mode. I use it on YouTube. I use it in yeah. Can you see this well? Did I put the right screen up? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is from Mrs. Dolan's loves Johnny, obviously, as we all do. So we're all damaged in our own way. A quote from Johnny Depp. 26 days till court. That's what that is, right? That is so handsome. I just hope he gets everything back. I do. Yeah. I know, Peter, just please take her, lock her up, please. We don't want to keep her. Take Amber. You have beef with Amber. You need to prosecute her or something. Take her over there, No, you do deserve my punnery. I mean, I deserve your punnery. I love your punnery. Come on, Hawk. Cut me a break. It's been a long day. I get it. I was trying to be politically correct, and I really shouldn't. I should just go with my normal self. And but no, I always get in trouble. Right. Anyway, he is quite the handsome man. I like him in a white tux. Actually, he's pretty.
So I have a bunch of pictures, so that every day for the next 26, obviously, and I'll just be going through them, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
I know. I think I might use this black and white one for the next thumbnail. It's quite stunning in black and white, actually.
Yeah,
it's quite good. I do. I even found him in a hat to do the Australia one. Put him in. He looked quite good. Plenty of great pictures of him out there. Well, yeah, you go steal it, Kiki. Maybe we can get her to like tweet it to you. Since she's locked, you can't like retweet it, but we could send you the picture easily enough.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But on that, just like 3 minutes in, gee, Mandy, this has always been great. Same time next week. We'll see what's up. I don't think we'll go. We'll see what happens. It's getting more and more that something happens every week. So I don't want to tell you what we'll be doing yet, because if it pops off like it did today, everything goes crazy anyway, and we get sidetracked because we want to look at the new stuff. Yeah. So oh, you said Depp dive, not deep dive. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh,
I saw it.
Yes. Okay, you caught me. You got me, Hawk.
I'm gonna go tell my husband that Winona Ryder joke.
That Winona Ryder joke was awesome. There's more in there. You go back in that chat, it's lit. Like Beaver did it up with the Depp jokes. Like I know I couldn't put them all up. I get you, Hawk. What can I say? Like I'm only a couple hours up. I've only had half a cup of coffee. Like it's not good. It's not good. The fact that I can even talk is a modern miracle right now. I'm telling you. And it's even more insane that I'm out here, right, Mandy? I'm talking on YouTube instead. Like, it's like what? All right. Everybody have a great night. I'm going to be, what is tomorrow? Thursday? Oh, I have the day off tomorrow, I believe. Yes. So you won't see me on the tubes until Friday. Friday is definitely my very busy morning. I'll be at Hereticals first thing in the morning for coffee and chat with Jay and the rest of the crew, with Jen and Matt and probably maybe Digital Davros and maybe Jeff or Godless Coma and a few others. Chris is on hiatus right now. So Jay will be running the show. After that, I have I'm going to be over on Jamal's channel, The Dark Magician, on Say It, Be It. That'll be linked in my community tab about 4 o'clock. We're going to be talking about doxing again. And then after that, I may or may not be over at the shows. I'm not sure yet. And after that is Mayhem, which I'm really looking forward to, because Mayhem is going to be lit this week. I'm going to revamp things a little bit, put a little more energy back into the show and try to bring it back like it was in the beginning. It's been a little more sedate lately. I know you all are like, yeah, right. Like we've been watching, that ain't sedate. Like, what are you talking about? I just meant more structured, more fun, I am. Yes, Hawk. Yes, tomorrow. It just happened to be that way. But for everybody who celebrates for tomorrow for St. Patty's Day, like have a great one. Mandy, I know you're not on the tubes, but I know you're going to be on the Twitter all week, having some fun with our other not so favorite YouTuber.
No big shock.
Yeah.
I don't like Katie Joyless.
No, we don't. We don't. She right there with Amber. I'm telling you, she didn't see. Yeah,
I was about to say it takes a lot for me to just be like cringe about people, and those two are definitely like that.
Well, they are not my. I do not know them. They're not my friends. No. I don't like them. No. I don't like them. I don't want to know them. Don't get near me. Like, I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't like what you do. I don't like your style. I don't like how you do it. Yeah. Nope. We agree about that. Like, Mandy and I kind of dislike the same thing very much about both of them. It's terrible. They're just not very nice people. They're not nice people. They don't deserve us, do they, Mandy? They do not deserve us at all. Not good. But on that, we'll see you all next week. If Mandy will join me on Wednesday, we'll be here at 10 o'clock. If anything changes, we'll let you know.
Yep. New stuff. It's popping off. So
well, hopefully, watch it be real quiet and we'll have to dig something up. But there's plenty. Believe me, there'll be something, because there's so much to cover about this. And we're just trying to get everything back refreshed and in everybody's mind of everything that has happened before the trial. So you have more information to go by when you're listening to the testimonies and everything. Make it more interesting for you, and us, right? And us. Give us something to do in the meantime. So on that, everybody, enjoy your evening. Have a great St. Patty's Day. Enjoy my freaking awesome outro. I love co-creator Counter Talk, who work with me. I'm now allowed to say their name, that they actually worked with putting these things together, and they came out great, and I love working with them. Very talented, and hope you like the music. We'll see you later. Thank you again, Mandy. It's always joy. The headphones, I hope they were more comfortable for you.
I hope it sounds okay.
Yeah, it sounded good so far. So, every day we just get better. You're going to be a YouTube star yet. We'll see. Hey, I got plenty of shows. Pick one. You can come, and on that, hey, I'll talk to you all on Friday, and Mandy and I will see you next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Good
Bye.
night.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and your life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and your life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these